let's do another meanwhile on Snapchat. And as you can probably hear in my voice, I am sick as a dog at the moment. But I have to make this video this very second because it is time sensitive. Kind of like my VillainCon video this year, VillainCon 25, which is literally time sensitive. I should almost be making it this very second, but I'm not, because I am going to Scotland. And I thought, while I'm in Scotland, why don't I make a video? Now, technically, that is the reason I'm going to Scotland. I'm going to make my Loch Awe video, which I am very excited about. But I am there for 5 days, and it's going to be raining for a lot of those 5 days. So I thought, why don't I keep myself busy while I'm there when I can't fly my drone outside and get the shots that I need for the actual Loch Awe video? So I thought, why don't I create an NFT and a crypto coin? Do you know what NFTs and crypto coins are? Me neither, but let's not get into it. I thought I will make a painting on this canvas, the tiniest canvas I could ever find in my life. It's actually the only one I had left, but it's fine. It's fine, it'll do. So my thinking is, right, I've come up with this idea, because you know I can harness time. You've been to diamondmiller.com. So I thought I will log the time when I start the painting, which is literally almost as I finish this video, and then I'm going to log the time when I finish painting, and then there's going to be a sale where you can sell the NFTs, the actual relic or digital copies of it, and then you stop the sale, but all of that metadata is built into the NFTs. I've got this on my public L2 server, and then that is a valid NFT, whatever NFTs are. But that's not where it stops. I thought, why don't I create a crypto coin? But not just for me. Yes, I'm gonna make my one, but why don't I make one for all artists? So the idea is, you can just make a painting, you do the start, end, blah, 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 sale thing. I'll handle all of that. We can have a beginner's package and then we can have the Picasso package. But an artist will come and say, I want to have a crypto coin. I want Banksy coin, because I'm Banksy and I want a coin. And I'll say, okay, Banksy, can you do me a painting? And he'll say, yeah, I can do a painting. And then he does his painting, and then like I'll do my painting, right? Mine will be worth like £1. His will be worth like £1 million or something along those lines. And then that'll be the base for the currency that we create. You have 1,000 of these coins minted, and then the price is dictated by how much that painting sold, and that NFT will be in this windowed system. I've made it all. You know me. I got bored yesterday and I am so excited. Anyway, let's go to Scotland and make a meanwhile on Snapchat. I'm so sick. Let's start now.
On Monday morning, I mentally prepared for the long drive, London to Scotland. Scotland! Oh yes, we have movie magic at our disposal. But it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows yet, because there were some slowdowns, like when they pretend like they're about to do some work on the motorways and put down all of the cones. Have you guys seen what motorway services look like nowadays? This is like a 5-star restaurant where I'm from. But anyway, it was very nice to stop, get some petrol in my lungs, have a look at the ducks, and then get back on the road.
There's a lane closure ahead.
Yep, I know. Look, listen, look, see? This is what I'm talking about. Perfect example. Look at all of these cones. Past Chris, the one driving the car, he's gonna get so amazed by finding out where they keep these cones. Just watch. At least we found where they were keeping all of their cones. They are here. Look at all those cones. Oh, cones! Because there weren't any gaps between you. Gapless cones. Oh, look at these gaps! I could slalom through these gaps here. Come on, get your cones close together, friends. Yes, I know I was acting a little bit silly, but I was excited, okay? I was driving back to my favoritist place in the entire universe. Loch Awe! 2 miles away. Oh, I love these single track roads where you have no idea if a car's coming or not. It's very exciting. Have you guys tried these tiny roads in the UK? They are very exciting. You just don't know when a car's gonna come. And it's a single lane track, so whoever pushes through first wins. I think that's how it works. So let's speed up and and start pushing through here. Push, push. Don't be around the corner, car. Don't be around the corner. Good. Push, push. Don't be, well, around the corner, car. Don't be around the, good. Push, push. Good, 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 good. Push. Here it is. There it is. Push. Nice. Nobody coming this way. Nobody coming my way. Good, 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 good. A nice, nice, nice clear track. Don't be over there, car. Don't be over there. Nice. Push, push. Don't be around the corner, car. Don't be around that corner. Nice. Push, push. Don't be around this corner, car. Don't be around this corner, car. Nice. Push, push. Don't be around this corner, car. Don't be around.
And then, as if by magic, I reached my destination along the banks of Loch Awe. Literally a stone's throw away from where they make the Highland Springs water. I was considering going there. But then I remembered that annoying single track lane and I decided, no, I'm going nowhere. I'm going to sit down and paint instead. And so that is what I did for the rest of the day.
I woke up fresh as a daisy on Tuesday morning. But despite some video editing magic, I actually was exhausted when I woke up in the tiny little village of Dalavich on the shores of Loch Awe. This was the plan. I was staying in Dalavich Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, and then Thursday and Friday I'd go up to the Loch Awe Hotel, which is on the top of Loch Awe. Dalavich is on the bottom left side of Loch Awe. The weather prediction for the entire week was horrid. It said it was going to be raining every single minute of the entire Facebook. So I was pleasantly surprised when I woke up on Tuesday and saw it wasn't raining. However, it was windy. Look at those trees. They are waving in Aslan, which is sign language. Get it? That's how you clap in. Never mind. The plan was to take my FPV drone out and get some shots of Loch Awe, but as you can see, it struggled to even keep straight upright because of the wind. So the footage wasn't brilliant the first time I took my FPV drone out, and I ended up not using any of this besides now. When you are seeing me use it in this video you are watching right this second. You know how videos work, right? I've got some questions about why all of the trees have been cut down, but look at this truck. I got a cool shot of this truck with my FPV drone. So even though it was super windy, apparently all of the trees being cut down means I got to see this truck doing a very tight maneuver going into a very, very tight one-lane track into the mountains. I struggled with my tiny car. What's this guy gonna do? Anyway, bye truck, I wanna look at the loch. There it is. Hello, Loch Awe. Granted, there isn't much to do here, but this part was right at the end or the edge of Loch Awe. I think the bottom. I don't know, I'm not good at geography, okay? Which was absolutely no issue for me, because when I went to Oban, they had this thing, and on the floor I could see I could go to all of these different places. The North Pole, for instance, or Lapland if I wanted to go there, which I think is where what's her name's from, Elvis, and there's Moscow, I think, underneath that chair, and places like Rome, Athens, Sydney, that's in Australia. Land's End, that's the end of the land. Timbuktu, the South Pole, these are literally all the places in the world. Jamaica, Caracas, which is a guy from Street Fighter. Bogota, which is obviously in America probably. Newfoundland, which is a type of dog. And then obviously all of the Canadas, ending in Vancouver, someplace with a T, these places you can't pronounce, and Greenland, which is covered in snow. Thanks, Oban. You have really helped me understand geography. I then went down to the harbour, had a look at some of the boats, and then I saw this boat do a parallel park at the dock. It was pretty cool to watch, as you can imagine. As you can see, you literally watched it now. Look at us watching things together. Cool, thanks, boat. And then I saw this seagull. Look at this seagull. He's just walking around. Ah, seagull, what are you doing? You're just having a walk around. Now you turned and you looked the other way and you thought, let me have a quick look. I'm going to go this way. No, I'm going to drop a deuce and then I'm going to walk this way. Oh, seagull. This was fun watching him. And then he decided to fly away, and then I stopped watching him. And although Oban is very nice, it's not as nice as Loch Awe, so I turned around and went back.
I do have to correct myself from something that I said yesterday, which was, I don't think these tiny one-lane roads are actually for you to be pushing and first come, first serve. I actually think it's more about caution and going slowly. And obviously the more you learn, that's how these things work in life. Where's all the forest gone, friends? Don't like how they've taken all my forest. Are you guys reading books? Just get a Kindle, for goodness sakes. Anyway, as I was saying, you probably want to be cautious on these roads. So if you listened to my video yesterday and you thought that's an excellent way to drive, can't believe I haven't thought of doing that before, don't do this. Go cautiously. Where's all the forest gone, friends? I'm gonna have to look into this. Seems very suspicious. All of these forest stations have disappeared. What's this? This is like a forestation route or something. New York bypass. Authorized vehicles only.
I should have known the Americans had something to do with it. If it's not American-made trees, they have a problem with it, right? I got back to Dalovich and realized that the sun was out and it wasn't raining, and I probably should put my big drone up in the air and get some videos, because I was, after all, making a video about Loch Awe. That was the reason I was in Scotland. So I got my big drone up in the air and got this one orbit, and then hunkered down for the rain coming Tuesday night. It wasn't raining on Wednesday again, so I took my big drone out. This isn't the FPV, even though I was so close to the water, I know. Very brave of me to get this shot. Full disclosure, I was very excited to go back to the Loch Awe hotel, which I was staying at Thursday and Friday evening, so Wednesday was kind of me just killing time, as you can see with this long tracking shot of the water for no particular reason. I probably should have sped this up in the edit. Actually, I'm in the edit. Give me a second. There, see, look, that's the boat I was tracking. See, told you it was a tracking shot. Anyway, Wednesday, I wanted to figure out what was going on with the deforestation of Loch Awe. What are they doing with all of my trees? Bring back my trees. That's not how trees work. You can't replant them. But stop taking my trees. Ah, yes, absolutely valid point by you. Why do I keep calling them my trees? Why do I keep calling it my loch? And that's a complicated question to answer. Technically, the world and you do not recognize them as mine. But I recognize them as mine, and if we've learned anything over the last few years, if you recognize something deeply within yourself, the world needs to come right and answer these questions 3. Where are my trees? What have you done with my trees? Give me back my trees. The third one wasn't a question. But where are my trees? What's going on with the deforestation of Loch Awe? We need to get to the bottom of this, friends. Although, maybe the Americans have a valid reason for taking all of the trees. And if I am brutally honest with myself, this wasn't something that I was utterly concerned with. There were plenty of trees around. Just look in the background. There are trees over there, and there are trees about to come into shot on the left. Plenty of them. This was all just subterfuge while I kept myself busy before I went back to the Loch Awe hotel on Thursday and Friday. I was very excited to go stay there again. And then Thursday did come, but so did the rain. I'm not nearly as sadistic as you, but you would have loved watching the people wait until the clouds stop raining. They get out their car and they try and run to Tesco, and then the clouds start raining as they are out in the open. It was funny to watch. But this is the type of things that you have to keep yourself busy with on a Thursday when you're waiting to check into your hotel, which only opens at 3 p.m. And just a tiny dash of movie magic means that I was already at the hotel immediately, and the rain had stopped. And I could get views like this from my FPV drone. I was living the dream. Living the absolute dream. Whoa, friend, where are we flying to? Can we focus on something more important than the sky? Yeah, like the lock. There was somebody working on the hotel at this point, and then he came to me, he's like, were you flying that drone that went over my face? And I was like, yeah, sorry about that. I was trying to look at the lock. The FPV drone is a lot of fun. Look at me following this car between the trees and then looping back up to look at the hotel again. This is the kind of shot that only an amateur could get, because I was imagining I was about to hit the trees there, which I didn't. I didn't hit the trees. I actually came back with all of my drones. Look, there's the hotel again. These are not very exciting. Should we change tacks here a little bit with this video? Thanks FPV, you did a great job flying between the trees. While I would have loved to see an actual alien spacecraft above the mountain, I did not, which is fine. I don't hold it against the universe, because at the time of recording this visual and at the time of recording this audio, 3i Atlas, the interstellar object, was and is flying through our solar system. It is an information spiral. And annoyingly, I haven't figured out the key to unlock it, so I'm saying publicly, if anybody knows the key, I'm looking at you, Jacob Collier, who understands keys, tell me, I want to see the information. Let me back up a second. The way it works is the spiral of information is infinite because you can log it against a specific time, and then that time has its own dimension going forward, and then the information is parallel access to the time, but you need a key to unlock the room to see the information. It is so freaking annoying to someone like me who doesn't like putting the effort in, and then I don't have the key naturally. I have to put effort in. You see the problem, right? But look at these ducks and the sunset on Loch Awe. Problems seem to melt away when you look at this scene, don't they? At least they did for me. When there was a dog. This dog arrived. It was just out of nowhere. It just ran, and I think it wanted to eat the ducks. And then I was like, hey, dog. So I swung the camera back to the ducks, and I'm going to pretend like I was acting cool, but I knew the dog was going to come back again. Of course it was. Dogs love coming back. So I acted cool with the camera, but I knew it was about to come. I was like, when's this dog coming? And then I was like, oh, is the dog here yet? And there it is there. Look at that. Good timing, right? It's better in the main video. And then I said, hey, dog. And then the dog went away. And then I looked at the ducks. And then what were we talking about? Oh, yes. Freaking 3i Atlas. We're going to have to talk about that in a proper video sometime. Not this meanwhile on Snapchat. This one's like 20 minutes long already. The dog was following me though. Look, he was still here. I was like, I don't have a stick for you, dog. Is there a stick around here somewhere that I can throw? There's this giant anchor chain, but that's not going to work. You're not going to be able to chase an anchor. That makes no sense. And just like later in the video, I tried to do an awesome focus just on the dog. But this one didn't work as well because you can see my whole clothes. You see that numinous red hoodie that I wear? I filed a trademark for numinous clothing, and they told me it would be £1,000, and then I accidentally ripped the envelope, and then somebody else snuck in and filed "We Are Numinous Fitness Clothing," so I think I've lost my trademark. But I'm not going to let these sharks keep me down underwater. That's just what the sharks want. Instead, let's look at this castle that I'm zooming out on. It features heavily in my main Loch Awe video, so go watch that one after this. But I think for now, let's just look at the castle from a couple different perspectives. Here it is from the other side, and then let's flip around to the other side again, and then let's have a look at the reflection. Wow, cool castle. ruined castle. Remember, you can't do anything there. That's just a ruined castle. Have a look at this. This is the Loch Awe Hotel. How cool does this look? It looks like an actual castle itself, but this is just a hotel that you can stay at. That thing in the middle of the screen, I'm zooming in on it. This is good drone work. If you didn't know what I was pointing at, like I'm pointing my finger at it, but I'm in a voiceover booth somewhere in the middle of Surrey, so I can't exactly show you my finger right now. Just believe me, it's pointing at that thing in the middle of the screen. That's how zooming in works. The thing that I'm focused on in the middle of the screen is the thing that I'm talking about. You surely had to have known this. You've seen many a video before. I did not need to explain this. In fact, correct, I did not need to explain this, but what other reason did I have to keep this very long video in? Speaking about stalling, because past Chris did not want to leave his favorite place in the universe, Loch Awe, you will have seen that I uploaded a 15-minute unedited video of Loch Awe from this perspective that you are seeing now, which was coincidentally my window where I was staying in the hotel. I know, right? Amazing view. Correct. Amazing view. It was a weird experience, but a really cool experience because I was watching the view out my window while the live was premiering on YouTube of a video that I just recorded seconds ago out the window. It was Loch Awe Inception, which is not something that I am against. Anyway, I probably have to go home soon. Loch Awe has to come to an end, like all good things. And so I woke up on Friday knowing that I had to leave my favorite place. And also that the sun had somehow come out and now the wind had died down. So I threw my FPV up in the air for one last view of the surroundings. Loch Awe Hotel, that ruined castle in the background, the views of the mountains, the train station, you know, all of the cool things that you love about Loch Awe. I tried to get a few of these shots, and then it was time to make the drive home. Here you can see me parked off to get one last shot, and here you can see the guy with the caravan on the back about to pass me, and the millions of cars behind him that were about to become my annoying journey out of the highlands of Loch Awe. And then all that was left to do was badmouth Oxford, miss a few turns, and then head back to London.
Friends, did I miss my turn? I'm meant to be on the highway going home. It's a highway to London. Everyone knows that. Why am I on this road? Oh, guys. I feel like I might have taken a wrong turn somewhere. But when you're on the highway, generally, it's not
In a
that...
quarter of a mile,
Whoa.
turn right onto
Hold on.
A329.
Hold on, friends. Turn right onto A32. I'm supposed to be on the highway to London. How am I in... I hate Oxford. Oxford's the worst. If you ever watch the Cambridge versus Oxford rowing race, just know I am on the Cambridge side. If I see you in an
Turn
Oxford...
right into A329, then use the left lane to take the M40 slip road.
M40! Nice! Back on the highway, stupid Oxford. Get lost, you stupid Oxford. Me and the Porsche, we don't want to be here. We want to go to London. Or Cambridge. Not Oxford. Stupid Oxford Belfry Hotel and Conference Centre. Stupid Wheatley, Oxford and Birmingham. Where's London? Let's go, friend. Whoa!
Use the left lane to take the M40
Ah!
slip road.
I missed it.
In a quarter of a mile, merge onto M40.
Ah!
And would you look at that? I am here back in London, and not a minute too soon. The seasons are changing, the storms are coming, and the comets, they're already here. But before we get on to fall season, let's just wrap up this meanwhile on Snapchat for Scotland. What a fun week I had. I finished this painting so we can do the NFT and crypto coin thing that I was excited that I was telling you about in the intro to do. We can do that now. I don't want to add fuel to the fire with the question about, has Chris been replaced by AI? But voiceover meanwhile on Snapchat, has that ever been a thing before? This feels new to me, but I'm not gonna worry about it because this is now an end screen. What that means is you have finished this particular video, but there is more you can do. Forget whatever questions you had about whether I am AI or not. That's in this video. There's stuff you can do now, moving forward. Why don't you hit subscribe down below, and then when you are ready, hit the linked video up above. See you soon.